We all know what sharks do. Hunt, kill, eat. Sharks are powerful, ferocious. Predators never prey. Hunters, not the hunted. But every shark has a weak spot.
One of the biggest misconceptions about sharks is that they're all predators and don't have to worry about becoming a meal themselves.
And now, amazing evidence is emerging of other predators that are hungry for shark.
It's eat or be eaten.
They're flipping the script on the ocean's most notorious predators.
Whoa, whoa, oh, there he is.
Off the coast of Florida, a 5-foot blacktip shark's killer instinct has landed it in trouble. It's hooked.
He's changing his mind, don't he?
Fast, aggressive predators, blacktips, usually go unchallenged. But this predator is now prey. It's about to be savaged. Out of the blue, a giant bull shark strikes. We warn you, the image is shocking. Its nervous system seems to drive the body to swim away. But the pumping blood lures other bulls. Adult blacktips have no common natural predators. But hooked, it turned into a giant shark lure.
When you have a shark or a fish on a fishing line, it's like ringing the dinner bell for a bigger shark. And so here you've had a bull shark come along and just take out this blacktip that was on the line.
Bull sharks are among the most deadly of all, both the humans and other sharks. Big, aggressive, and superbly adapted to murky water, they have ultra-sensitive prey detection systems. Pores around their snouts, called ampullae of Lorenzini, pick up minute electrical signals in the water. All living creatures produce an electrical field by muscle contractions. And the thrashing blacktip calls in its killers.
Sharks are absolutely prey in the ocean. Its body undulations, its movements are generating low-frequency sound that's picked up by the bull shark. And that big bull shark moves right in and just takes it.
Even though it's shocking to witness, a new picture is emerging. Sharks as regular predators of other sharks. Sharks are seen as the ocean's ultimate predators. They're followed and filmed as the killers, not the killed. But now, with more amateur cameras rolling than ever before, we're discovering that sharks can also be victims.
It's really a cool time to be around because people are posting all kinds of videos they've captured, many of which are behaviors we've never seen before.
We're starting to get these really kind of cool glimpses into these rare but really interesting interactions. And it's only when the scales are tipped so far to one side that they have a good chance of being successful and not getting injured that they're going to attack.
Sharks' teeth are deadly in attack and equally dangerous in defense. But in rare cases, other predators can exploit a shark's few weaknesses. On many tropical reefs, the white-tip reef shark is the dominant force. They patrol the shallow water, mostly at night. White-tips are superbly adapted hunters. Unlike many other sharks, they can breathe without swimming. Long, thin bodies allow them to scour the reef for food. It's a constant search. When prey like a moray eel is found, white-tips are masters at extracting them. Moray eels get big, with one species reaching 11 feet long. They lurk among the reefs and hide in crevices, launching snatch and grab attacks from their rocky layers. They bite with enormous force, and almost anything is fair game. White-tips and eels coexist on the reef. But divers in Indonesia witness an extraordinary incident. A huge moray eel turns the table on a lone white-tip that strays within striking distance.
This attack of a moray eel on a white-tip reef shark is really fascinating. What makes moray eels really efficient predators is the strength, the power, and the design of their jaws. You not only have this very large jaw, but it's armed with sharply pointed teeth that are really well adapted, like a mousetrap to really clutch animals within its grasp.
The thing you see here is that eels are incredibly powerful predators. It leaves its lair there so it can change where it's biting the shark, because it's got to get the shark head first if it's going to swallow it. Now, while it's doing it, the shark almost gets away, but just as it's trying to swim away, the eel's able to grab it right by the head and then maneuver it so that the head is just inside the eel's mouth. This is where a really cool adaptation takes over. How's it going to swallow that shark? It actually has a second set of jaws in its mouth called the pharyngeal jaws that sit toward the back of the throat. Those can go forward like the alien in Aliens, grab the shark, and pull it back toward its throat so it can start to swallow it.
Despite its size and 2 sets of jaws, this eel has bitten off more than it can chew.
And you have a very messed up shark that was in the stomach of that eel. But white-tip reef sharks can survive and get oxygen while just sitting on the bottom. So it might be able to go find a rock and actually recover from that battle.
The eel's double jaws prove sharks have their weak spots, but the shark was too big to swallow. But in northern Australia, there's a super predator that doesn't have a size disadvantage and may have the power to take on even the biggest sharks. Crocodiles may be the world's most dangerous ambush hunters. Off the coast and in the rivers of the Northern Territory, nothing is safe from them.
Crocodiles as a group have been around longer than dinosaurs, so obviously they are really successful. And when you get to the saltwater crocodiles in Australia, you're talking about one of the biggest species of crocodiles, and they are really perfectly adapted to taking big prey.
Salties have glands on their tongues that excrete excess sodium from their systems. That means they can hunt in coastal waters.
Saltwater crocodiles are really good swimmers, so they can cover areas of hundreds of miles. They aren't necessarily just sitting in one spot all the time. So there's no question that these big saltwater crocodiles would run into big sharks out in the ocean.
In the open ocean, a bull shark could easily see and outswim a predatory croc. But when sharks swim into the rivers, they're on the croc's turf. Crocodile jumping tours are common in the Northern Territory. It's an awesome display of the power and ferocity of these salties. And for one croc in particular, it points to a legendary encounter. Brutus is one of the largest and most famous crocs on the Adelaide River. He's said to be 80 years old, is at least 18 feet long, and could weigh more than a ton. Brutus is missing his front leg, and locals claim a shark may have bitten it off when he was younger. To some experts, it's no surprise that a bull shark would attack a crocodile.
What is really amazing about the bull shark is that it's not afraid to attack something bigger than it. It will kill a variety of species, including other sharks, definitely top predators of all sharks.
But would a croc, even a salty, take on such a well-armed predator as a bull?
You know, if a bull shark were to swim by, there's no reason to believe a crocodile wouldn't try to grab it.
Saltwater croc versus bull shark. Could such a face-off between two apex predators really happen? It not only could happen, it has happened. And it's Brutus, the three-legged giant, who launches the attack on the species that might have taken off his leg. Big, powerful, and aggressive, bull sharks are widely recognized as one of the most dangerous of all shark species, especially to humans. But in northern Australia, the saltwater crocodile kills more people than sharks do. And a croc named Brutus is in a fight with a bull, which was amazingly captured on camera.
People really don't see crocodiles and bull sharks interacting, so to have some of these pictures, to see that these interactions can occur, is pretty impressive.
Bull sharks get big. They're thick-bodied, and based on the size of the dorsal fin of this bull shark, I don't think it's a small one. And that makes this saltwater crocodile massive.
In the jaws of an 18-foot croc, this bull shark might seem small, but it's no easy target. Adult bulls have very few natural predators. They have perfectly adapted sensory systems to detect an attack in murky water. Their bodies are 85% muscle, and they're powerful swimmers. For Brutus to have even snatched the shark is a testament to the salty's predatory prowess.
If you're going to have an encounter between a crocodile and a bull shark, it's going to start with an ambush attack.
The shallow water, that's clearly the environment that this is occurring in, is absolutely an advantage for the crocodile. You know, if you're in deep water, the shark has a place to go to get away. In shallow water, murky water, this crocodile is so well camouflaged, this bull shark has no idea what's coming.
Probably the shark's going to swim by and the crocodile's just going to grab it really fast, wherever it can get it.
The saltwater croc has the strongest recorded bite force of any animal. It's delivered with shocking speed. But Brutus's powerful jaw doesn't finish the bull. And in the water, it can't thrash the shark about to tear it apart. So the salty pulls out an extraordinary tactical maneuver to go for the kill. He pushes it out of the water. It can't escape, and it can't breathe.
Remove the shark from the water. It's kind of like removing a boat from the water. The propeller's no good anymore. And so it gives the crocodile another advantage in its ability to kill the shark, manipulate it, and swallow it.
The shark was alive when Brutus pushed it into the mangroves. And while this attack was undoubtedly not conscious revenge by the salty, it shows a level of skill not often seen. Sharks are also adept hunters. Many attacks might look like blind instinct driven by bloodlust, but in fact, sharks are tactical predators. They carefully calculate their prey's deficiencies. It's what keeps them on top, but can also be their downfall when fighting each other. Off the coast of Louisiana, a tuna fisherman has a large hammerhead shark on his line. Out of nowhere, a huge tiger shark attacks. But the tiger shark has to be careful. Hammerheads are powerful predators in their own right.
Hammerheads are super fast and incredibly maneuverable. And you'd think they wouldn't be able to take big prey easily because their mouth is really kind of far under the hammer. But what that hammer does, it's like a dive plane, just a tiny little turn, and they can pivot really fast. So they can turn on a dime.
Hammerheads also have incredible vision. The separation of the shark's eyes allow it to see 360 degrees around.
You know, even though they might not look like something that can take big prey, hammerheads are definitely capable. And great hammerheads have a lot of small sharks and rays in their diet.
But this hammerhead is stuck on a fishing line, with a massive tiger shark taking interest. Footage of a tiger shark attacking a hammerhead is rare and gives us some remarkable insights.
We know that tiger sharks eat other sharks, but it is so rare to actually see an attack happen. You know, the tiger shark isn't just attack, 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 attack. It comes in and tries to get a bite, and it has trouble at first, and it's like trying to palm a basketball that's too big, and there's nothing to push against, so you kind of just push the shark through the water. Then eventually that tiger shark's gonna get through and get that first bite.
The first bite to the hammerhead is an attack to the tail. It's a crippling blow. With every movement, the hammerhead's blood drains away. The tiger shark waits patiently for its prey to weaken. The tail bite was devastating. But this bite, on the gills, is a death blow.
The gills on a shark, as with almost any fish, are a very, very vulnerable point. You can think of it as the Achilles heel. It takes very little damage to the gills before the animal bleeds out and dies.
Once it has full control, it drags the hammerhead into the depths. It's clear that tiger sharks are masterful tactical predators. Growing more than 16 feet, they might seem to be immune from attack themselves. But there is one species that doesn't run from tigers. Orcas. Sharks are devastating predators. But orcas have developed a series of extraordinary tactics to hunt almost any shark. The orca is truly an apex predator.
When we look around the world at the top predators in the ocean environment, and it's really hard to pick a single species because every ecosystem's a little bit different. But clearly, you know, the killer whale, the orca, is at the very pinnacle.
Orcas have sophisticated communal hunting strategies. The combined brain power of an orca army means they can take on even the most difficult prey.
They communicate, and so they can really work together. They're much more formidable than any one predator would be on its own.
Well, killer whales are amazing. And now it looks like there's some groups of killer whales that may specialize or primarily eat sharks and rays. And so shark is not uncommon on the menu for some groups of killer whales.
This sinister-looking beast is a 7-gill shark. They grow up to 10 feet long and patrol the inshore waters of 5 continents. 7 gills may appear sluggish, but they're opportunistic, stealthy predators, capable of high-speed strikes. They will eat just about anything, even taking on large prey, including dolphins and seals. These ancient sharks have few predators, but off the coast of New Zealand, a pod of orcas is on the hunt. This 7-gill is not going down without a fight. And the orcas don't rush in to attack. Maybe because they have calves, and the shark has a powerful bite. Instead, the orcas, clearly acting together, use a stunning tactic, quite literally. One orca delivers a tail slap, sending a shockwave through the water. It's a blow that knocks the shark senseless, allowing the orcas to go in for the kill. One powerful bite, and the shark is finished. One by one, the calves taste the dead shark. Some speculate these orcas are purposefully teaching their young how to hunt.
I'm sure there's some level of learning that's going on. And being social animals, there's information that's passed from adults to juveniles or to calves, so high above what sharks are capable of doing.
This is not an isolated incident. Across the Pacific in California, an almost identical 7-gill hunt is filmed from the air. Researchers using a drone capture what appears to be orcas teaching their young how to kill a shark. This adult seems to be showing off its catch, but also clearly presenting it to the calves.
You almost never see something like whales feeding on a shark, especially the way they're doing it, where they're clearly working together. There may be some teaching going on. You can see the big orca is kind of showing the shark to this smaller one, teaching its offspring that this is the kind of prey that you want to hunt for, and when you catch it, this is what you want to do.
You see in this video one point where it looks like one whale passes the shark off to the other one. Those killer whales will actually divide the food up.
That to me, that whole coordinated effort is really what I find most striking about this event.
Orcapods have learned to deal with some sharks, but tiger sharks are apex predators themselves and are equipped to pierce even the heaviest armor.
Tiger sharks are really incredible predators. They've got huge heads. The mouth is right at the front of the snout, so they can easily grab onto prey. Tiger sharks have super broad teeth, and they're curved with serrations, and that makes it really good for cutting.
You might think a shark that can bite through a sea turtle shell is too dangerous for another predator to attack. But this unique video shows that orcas have even figured out how to take on a tiger. In Costa Rica, 3 orcas seem to be forcing this tiger shark to the ocean surface, tiring it out and taking bites to wear it down. The orcas have to contend with the shark's powerful bite, so they use a surprising method to subdue it.
The strategy we see unfolding, and we've only seen it a few times, is that the orcas are very effective at putting their sharks to sleep. They know that if you turn a shark upside down, it's going to, in essence, pass out, you know? We call it tonic immobility. We don't really know exactly what's going on, except that when you turn many species of sharks onto their backs, they become limp and seemingly pass out. This is just a great example how a very, very big top predator can dispatch another predator.
The orcas use brain and brawn to kill the tiger. But it turns out that sharks are vulnerable to attack from another powerful hunter, the octopus. But how does a creature with no bones and a beak attack a shark? Octopuses are famously smart, but they're soft-bodied mollusks related to snails with no hard protective shell. They rely on amazing camouflage to avoid being eaten themselves. But those same camo skills also make them phenomenal predators. And there's one octopus in particular that is big enough to take on sharks. Off the Pacific Northwest coast of the US lives a shark called the spiny dogfish. They grow to around 4 feet long, are voracious predators, and will eat fish, octopus, and even other sharks. As their name suggests, spiny dogfish also have a good defense system.
Spiny dogfish themselves are well armed. You know, if you look at the base of each dorsal fin, they've got these sharp spines. And those sharp spines, while they're not venomous, do create problems for anything that grab onto it.
But there may be an octopus living in the same piece of ocean that's equipped to take on sharks. The giant Pacific octopus.
We look at this species of octopus, it's giant, it's a big octopus. It's among the largest in the world. And as such, it can take on larger prey.
The biggest has been measured at 30 feet, weighing 600 pounds, though most are much smaller. But octopuses have some powerful predatory tricks up their 8 sleeves. Most incredible is their ability to disappear.
Now, the octopus is one of the masters of camouflage. And if you're able to blend into your background to the extent that whatever's swimming by you doesn't know you're there, you've got a huge ambush advantage.
They're aggressive fighters and will defend their territory from rivals. And when they hunt, they sometimes use their bodies to cover prey in a tent, with their arms free to take care of any challengers. And they have a powerful beak to tear their prey to bits. But even with these weapons, the octopus would typically let the dogfish just swim by.
Well, I'm guessing that battles between giant Pacific octopus and spiny dogfish are pretty infrequent. But, you know, one thing that you do see in the wild is that some predators will get good at catching weird things.
The octopus's camouflage makes it invisible to the dogfish, and it attacks. This octopus bites off more than it can chew and disappears in a cloud of ink.
The spiny dogfish has those kind of small needle-like teeth, and they're sharks, so they're pretty powerful. They're basically all muscle.
In this battle, the octopus can't take down the dogfish. But in an astonishing turn-up for the books, at the Seattle Aquarium, the exact same face-off plays out.
Giant Pacific octopus, they can get really big, and then with those suction cups and the tentacles, you can really envelop the shark quickly and then bring the beak to bear.
The giant Pacific octopus's arms are extremely strong and can lift 14 times its weight. Each arm contains up to 280 suckers, which they use to hang on and even taste with. This time, the octopus attacks the shark's Achilles heel and goes for a death grip.
Yeah, these dogfish need to be able to swim to get oxygen, and so basically shutting that water flow down by not letting it move or swim away, it's eventually going to die. It'll suffocate.
The shark is almost dead in the water, and the octopus pulls its victim in towards its beak to dismember it. Bigger neighbors with better weapons can destroy a shark. But some of the most surprising shark killers are also prey. In South Africa, great whites hunt Cape fur seals in dramatic fashion. But when fur seals and blue sharks meet, the tables turn, and it's shark blood that's in the water. Sharks are definitely prey, even big ones. But when a shark grows up to 21 feet long and weighs more than 7,000 pounds, it can legitimately be called a beast. And this beast is hungry. The great white shark is the ultimate killing machine. During winter mornings in False Bay, South Africa, great whites are laying waste to their victims, the Cape fur seal. For a shark this size, one fur seal may sustain it for months. And the sharks hunt these waters off of Seal Island for months at a time.
White sharks are an incredible apex predator. They're fast, they can come out of nowhere, so they use stealth, and then they have these huge mouths and great cutting teeth, so even big prey like seals and sea lions have to worry about them.
But seals and sea lions are also powerful, effective predators. Male sea lions can weigh over 800 pounds and can be voracious killers.
We look at seals and we see very cute animals, but when you really take a hard look at these, you see actually a very effective, very well-armed predator.
They have a mouth full of sharp teeth used for tearing flesh. And when the right opportunity presents itself, they will flip the script on sharks.
Well, you think of seals and sea lions as being prey for sharks, and that's certainly true when you're thinking of white sharks. But what people may not realize is that they can actually be predators of not just one species shark, but several species.
Off California, sea lions fight to survive among killer whales and great whites. But some sharks would be smart to avoid the sea lion's ravenous appetite. The thresher shark gets its name from its long tail that it uses to slap and stun prey. Adult females can grow up to 15 feet. But to get that big, they have to avoid becoming prey themselves. This sea lion is making short work of a thresher shark. These images show it tearing it apart. The sea lion will thrash the shark around, ripping off chunks small enough to swallow. It's a display of horrifying skill. California sea lions take small sharks. But back off the coast of South Africa, there is more blood in the water. And it's not the Cape fur seals. This time, it's shark blood. Speed and surprise kills fur seals. But now, they've figured out how to catch and kill a shark that's as fast as they are. Scientists are reporting instances of Cape fur seals attacking and killing blue sharks. Blue sharks are high-speed open-water predators. They reach 13 feet long, can weigh over 500 pounds, and are known to have killed 4 people. They're some of the fastest sharks in the ocean and use their impressive quickness to snatch prey.
The blue shark is a top predator in the open ocean. I don't typically see many animals at all attack blue sharks. They get to be, 12, 13 feet long, 500 pounds. And here we have one that's being attacked and killed by a seal. It's amazing.
I've never seen photographs like these before, capturing a predation event between a fur seal and a blue shark. This is really unique. It's almost like the fur seal is going to bring that shark home like a trophy and hang it on its wall. But even a blue shark has a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth that the fur seal is going to have to be very careful of.
But the seal didn't just avoid the shark's bite. It managed to sink its teeth into the blue's gills, a display of speed and agility never documented before.
Seals and sea lions are super powerful pound for pound, and they are incredibly maneuverable too. That head, they can dart around. Their foreflippers that provide the propulsion let them just turn in incredible ways. I mean, 3 dimensions mean nothing to them. They can corkscrew through the water, and then that neck can dart out and catch something. So this fur seal just got good at catching sharks and knows that if you take a big chunk out there, there's no way that the shark's gonna survive.
The fur seal in this photograph went on a killing spree and was observed taking at least 4 sharks that day. Other shark predators aren't so picky. While sharks have the reputation of being the most voracious oceanic predators, there are some ocean giants that will not only attack divers, but swallow a shark whole. Off the coast of South Africa, a shark feeding frenzy is underway. Giant schools of migrating sardines are under attack from hundreds of sharks and other predators. These copper sharks will spend weeks feasting on the bait ball. Thousands of creatures feed off the millions of tiny fish. But there are some cousins in fish families that grow to gargantuan size and regularly turn the tables on sharks. Meet the Goliath grouper.
When you think of a bony fish like a grouper or a snapper, we think of a fun day out on the water fishing and then maybe a barbecue on the beach. But they can actually be predators in their own right.
Goliath groupers can get to be 500 pounds and much bigger.
And the bigger the mouth, the more suction they can generate. So these big groupers, when they open their mouths, it's like the most powerful vacuum cleaner you can imagine.
They live close to shore and will attack anything they can get inside their monster mouths.
Man, I wish I got that on video.
This shark is caught on a fisherman's line.
We got it on video. Come on. There he is. Oh my God, we got a picture of it.
A Goliath grouper seizes its chance at an easy meal.
This big Goliath grouper comes up and just inhales the shark.
This really shows that there are other big predators out there, especially on coral reefs. So there's not necessarily a special status of being a shark that you wouldn't eat it. If it's the right size to be your prey, they will.
I got a jewfish eating. Oh my God. Did you see that?
As well as size, teeth, and armored skin, many sharks have another ability that makes them very difficult to attack: speed. In Australia, a drone operator witnessed false killer whales stalking an unknown shark for several minutes. The shark is quick, but the false killer whales hunt with a method that gives them the advantage, no matter how fast the shark swims. False killer whales are one of the larger members of the dolphin family, growing up to 20 feet. Not much is known about them, but like all dolphins, they're social, which makes them successful group predators. This pod off Hawaii has its sights set on a large mahi-mahi. With one precisely targeted tail slap, the mahi is stunned, and it's all over. False killer whales also have the predatory toolkit to take out sharks.
False killer whales are impressive predators. They are not as big as true killer whales, but like true killer whales, they live in groups, they're really social, they're really smart, they have big mouths, and they can take big prey.
All dolphins eat fish, but in this extremely rare footage, a pod of false killer whales follows and attacks an unknown shark.
This shark really only has one strategy, and that is to run away.
For a moment, this mystery shark seems doomed, but then breaks free and speeds away. Depending on the species, it might easily outswim its pursuers. Of all sharks, the short-fin mako is thought to be the fastest, capable of short bursts of 46 miles per hour. Their powerful tail produces maximum thrust, and they catch and kill large fish and even other sharks. But when it comes to speed and power, no shark outclasses the great white. One was tracked crossing the entire Indian Ocean from South Africa to Australia. They're considered one of the fastest in short bursts, with speeds reaching 35 miles an hour. Both makos and great whites live in these waters. But even if this shark does manage to maneuver away, the whales have a way to find it: sonar.
They also are capable of using sonar. They use sound waves to bounce off of their prey, and when those sound waves come back to the whale, they can actually see the shark without having to use their eyes.
The shark's attempt at evading the much larger predators fails. The whale's sonar pinpoints the shark, and they make the kill look easy. Sharks are the perfect ocean predators. They're equipped with an arsenal of deadly weapons and finely tuned to kill. But as new images surface, it's clear that sharks have their weak spots and that many other predators have figured out how to target them. The lives of what we like to call the ocean's top predators are full of danger. And the hunters are also the hunted.